Hello, and welcome to Reclaiming My Life. I'm one of your co hosts, Dr. Tiffany Tyson. The new year is fast approaching. 2024 will soon be here. As I think about the new year, I think about what is God's vision for your life. How many of you have created a vision board during the month of January? What is a vision board? Well, a vision board is a collage of different pictures or images that represent your goals and your dreams. It also helps you prioritize things in your life. It also helps you think through your values and what motivates you. Some may say, vision boards can be dangerous, or they may represent the law of attraction. What you constantly see or visualize, you may actually receive that. However, this is an important time or perfect time to invite God into your vision. How do you do that? Through prayer, through faith, and even reflecting over the last 11 months of your life. But when you sit down and you think about what is God's vision for your life, think about these three questions. Who is God shaping me to be? What does God want to accomplish through me? And lastly, what is God's vision for my life? I want to bring on my two other co hosts. I want them to join into this conversation about vision boards and God's visions for our lives.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
ladies. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Doing
Wonderful.
wonderful. How are you?
I am wonderful. So I'm going to start with Coach Claudia. So I don't know if you talked about God's vision or vision boards with some of your clients, or you yourself as you're going into the new year. What questions do you ask, or how do you prepare for the new year? Have you asked yourself either one of those three questions?
To be honest, I ask myself that all the time, because I'm always planning and I'm always preparing, and I'm always listening to God, and for, what He's saying to me, what He's giving me, what He's prepared me for. I'm
Mhm.
always asking myself, God, what would you have me to do? And I was even saying to my husband just a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I feel like God is preparing me for something. I feel like God is calling me to do something different or something
Yeah.
more. And when we have that intimate time with God, we do have an opportunity to actually listen, not just hear, but listen to God. And I've been hearing and listening to some things, right?
Yes, yes.
And as I was listening, and thinking about, okay, what I just told my husband, right? And then I get a phone call and said, look, this. And I told my husband, I said, I told you, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm always looking ahead. And when we say
Yeah.
looking ahead, you're looking with your vision, right?
Mhm.
You have to look ahead. You have to prepare. And like you said, you
Mhm.
have to have that board because sometimes, when we don't have a vision board,
Mhm.
and you're not planning, it's hard for you to prepare because
Yeah.
you're not looking at anything. You don't, you have no direction. So,
Mhm.
that's me all the time. It's not really
Yeah.
like going into the new year. It's me every month. I feel like, what am I accomplishing this month?
Mhm.
What did I do? What did I achieve? You want
Yes.
to have that for yourself. You don't want to wait for a whole year to say, well, next year, no, you might not be here next year. What are you
Come on
going to
now.
do this
Yeah.
month? Okay.
Yeah.
Look, y'all, I'm getting ready to coach. I done picked up my pen. Okay. I'm picking up my pen. What are you going to do this month? Stop
Yeah.
procrastinating. Have your vision board. You should have a vision board every month with
Yes,
a
ma'am.
goal.
Yes,
What's your goal
ma'am.
for the month? What's your goal for this week?
Thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
For this week, that part.
Right.
So yes, that's me all the time. I always
Yeah.
have to be doing something and feel accomplished, being productive.
I love that. I'm a visual person as well, and I'm
Hmm.
like you. My vision board is up, and I'm looking at it because it helps you. Like you said, you can see it. You know, sometimes
Hmm.
we can picture it in our minds, but when you write it down, or you draw it out, or sketch it, or if you add pictures to it, it helps you realize, okay, the actuality of it actually happening. And
Hmm.
then it helps you can go there and say, okay, well, by the end of this month I want to be able to
Right.
finish up this. It helps you measure and make outcomes and set
Yes.
realistic outcomes and goals. And then you're
Yes.
like, okay, you can start checking it off. Okay, this is the end of this month, I was able to accomplish that. But yes,
Yes.
you said something so key. Don't wait to the new year. But hey, guess
Hmm.
what, if you haven't been doing this, then yes, jump
Hmm.
on this in the new year.
Yes,
But this is
exactly.
so important because wow, I think I may have told this story to you guys, but I had wrote on my vision board that I was going to become a best-selling author, and then that same year, hey, we are Amazon's #1
Okay,
best-selling
that
authors.
part. Yes.
Yes, and so this is real, you guys. You have to get on this. This is real, as you said that part.
Yes, yes, I love it. I was gonna say, and a lot of times, coaching or just, even with your friends, sometimes just need an accountability partner.
Yes.
So if you set the
Mhm.
goal and you say, okay, by the end of the week, I'm gonna do this, and if you see that you didn't do it, a lot of times, people are just stuck. Like, well,
Mhm.
I don't know how, and it's not that you don't know how, you're just not putting forth the effort because you didn't take the steps that were given to you,
Mhm.
to accomplish, what you set out to do. So some people, I just want to say to you, look, you got to stop being lazy because when we're lazy, we can't progress. You're going to be the same place next year, the year after, and the year after.
Come on
So
now.
take those steps, y'all. Take the
Yes.
steps. You got to do the work.
Whether that faith without works is dead, is that you
Come
gotta you
on.
gotta put the work into it. Yes.
Yes, yes. Look, stop talking. Stop talking, right? Look, week after week, I'm just hearing you talk, right? You're not doing the work,
Right.
And I like what you said about sometimes we need an accountability partner
though.
because hey, this is our goal. This is how we're gonna eat this month, or this is how we're gonna eat the next 6 months, or this is our plan. This is how we're gonna save. Yes, sometimes you
Hmm.
have to have an accountability partner. So I love
Yes.
that what you just said. Minister Cooper, let's give us some thoughts. Have you asked yourself these three sentences or these three ideas, or how do you prepare for the new year or even monthly?
So just to piggyback on what you guys said, you have to see it before you see it. That's what I always say. You have that vision and you know what you want to do. So once you see it, you have to see it before you see it. Like you said, write it down. I don't like what you call being lazy. So whenever sometimes you feel like, okay, I need to rest. No, I don't need to rest. I need to get this. I need to do this. I need to, think about what I'm gonna do next week or the week after. It's Ephesians 3:16 and 17. It says, "Give me a greater vision of your purpose for my life."
Yes.
That right there stuck with me. Give me a greater vision
Mm,
of your purpose for my life, God's
yes.
purpose for my life.
Yeah.
You know, Awaken my heart and establish your reign in my life. Out of your glorious riches, strengthen me with power through your spirit in my inner being, and give me a spirit of wisdom and revelation that I may know you better. So we got to see it before we see it. And we all have that discernment. So like
Hmm.
Claudia said, when we had that personal relationship, we can hear from God, and allow him to use us to be able to manifest things that we see before we see, you know.
Yes. And you know what? I just want to go back because you said something real key. Sometimes we have to be still and listen because sometimes we can be so busy. We just have to have that alone time. That's why it's so important in the morning I don't know when you guys do your alone time, but I have my alone time like at 5:30 because that's when everything is quiet. There's nothing going
Right.
on. There's no ding on the phone.
Yeah.
And you have to have that alone time when you can meditate and just listen and hear what God is saying to you. Because once the day starts, you gotta okay, check on this, go this place. And you
Mhm.
don't have time to really stop, listen to what God is really saying to you. So that is
Right.
so important not to just stop, listen, and hear what God is telling us. Because sometimes we can get in the way. We can either be distracted or we may have one plan, but God is on the other
Mhm.
side saying, hey, this is what I have planned for you. And sometimes He makes you come around in full circle. You may go
Exactly.
around for a minute,
Yes.
and then He'll like, okay, then you're like, wow, okay,
Right.
God was showing me this back in 3, 4 months ago, but I wasn't listening or paying attention, or I was
Mhm.
distracted. But this has come back around again. I'm hearing this, like you said, I got this phone call, or this person said this. That's why, wow, this is confirmation. We were just talking about this the other day. So this is
Mhm.
confirmation that I'm supposed to be here, not over here. And so this is God. I need to stop and I need to
Right.
listen.
Yes.
So as Jamaica said, God gives you
Hmm.
discernment. You
Yeah.
just got to listen to it. So, lady, any last words as we're getting ready to go into this new year, or any advice or any words for people as they're preparing for God's vision or what God has for them in this new year? Coach Claudia.
Yes, I would just say, when what you want to do in life, sometimes we're distracted um, by our friends, so-called friends. Okay, I'm gonna say so-called friends, because when you have good, genuine friends, you're on the same
Hmm.
page. Hey, you're supporting one another. But when you have so-called friends, they can distract you. They can sway you and your decisions. But I want to encourage you to follow your plan, especially when you heard it from God. You already heard it, and I'm talking from experience, because I used to always need approval. Well, what you think? When I know in my heart what I want to do, what I'm led to do,
Hmm.
and I would always want that approval. What you think? What you think? And sometimes I wasn't getting, what I felt I should do. So I want to encourage you to follow your heart. If you heard from God and He's brought you to something and you have the gift to do it, and you have the vision and you put it on your vision board, don't let other people discourage you.
Minister Cooper.
So, ultimately, God's vision for our lives is that we become more like Him. I just want to say, allow God to guide you throughout your life. Trust His plan for your life.
And in closing, I just want to say pray without ceasing. Before you get ready to make a big decision, whether it's about that job or that big move, yes, do your vision board, pray over your vision board, bring the scriptures into what does the Bible say about finances or careers or your relationships. Bring the Bible into it as well. And it's going to help you. It's going to give you hope. It's going to give you reassurance. And like I said, like you said earlier, don't get distracted, but listen to what God has in store and His plans for you and your life. Thank you guys for tuning in on another episode of Reclaiming My Life. Stay blessed and continue to pray.